Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shang. Like most Asian nations, China has a traditional bias for sons, and decades of a one-child policy has led to what some people see as a tendency for parents to molly-coddle their boys. But the idea of getting boys to toughen up through physical activity has gained currency in recent years. Some affluent parents, worried that their sons are too fragile, are sending them to private boot camps that promise to turn them into real men through army-style drills. Last May, a member of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference called for help for boys who have become too delicate, timid, and effeminate. How come? Because they are schooled mostly by women teachers. As a result, on Thursday, February 4th, the Education Ministry comes up with a plan to get boys to do more sports as a way of making them more manly. Local governments and schools will soon be required to increase the number of gym teachers as well as improve teaching methods that cultivate masculinity. Of course, this plan stirred a debate between those who urge more diversity and those backing a more masculine society. A hashtag on the ministry's plan has chalked up 1.5 billion views on the Weibo social media platform within 7 days. It's hard to imagine such effeminate boys can defend their country when an outside invasion looms, said one Weibo user. Feminist scholar Li Jun said the ministry's plan reflected the traditional attitudes on the sexes. The proposal has represented some stereotypes in China on male masculinity, which is against gender equality and diversity, as it sees being effeminate as negative and dangerous, while masculinity is useful to the Chinese nation, Li told Reuters. Gender and sexuality experts in China say the focus on masculinity was discriminatory and would have a detrimental effect on young people's development. Fang Gong, a Beijing-based sexologist, has been challenging the traditional view of male masculinity for years. He believes the view that male masculinity is an important factor in sexual violence, including domestic violence. He said, quote, "A dominant male expression demands men to be brave, tough, to overpower women. So when men can't achieve that through career success or other ways, they've been belittled by the patriarchy as not a man," unquote. China's masculinity crisis has long been a priority for Chinese authorities, who have rolled out a number of initiatives to combat the perceived problem, including aggressively recruiting more male teachers to instill values of masculinity in schools and calling for more male-oriented education. In 2018, a middle school in the eastern city of Hangzhou launched rock climbing classes, with the school principal Jiang Zhiming saying, "The boys are too weak. They need a masculine sport." Last year, posters of Chinese boy band S.K.Y as the faces of the Hangzhou Marathon were pulled down after runners said the boys, in casual suits with dyed hair and full facial makeup, were not masculine enough to represent the event. Gender identity in China is much less blurred than in Western culture. Some commentators suggest it could lead to social problems and even imperil the country's national security. A new school textbook has been released. It aims to teach boys how to be masculine men. It is called Little Men. The book covers the differences between boys and girls, the importance of the father-son relationship, as well as the importance of interacting with nature and managing money. The colorfully illustrated book was first published in December 2016 by Shanghai Educational Publishing House and has been approved for 4th and 5th grade classes across the country after a trial period in selected schools. The roots of China's masculinity crisis can be traced to a number of areas, one of which is the country's one-child policy implemented between 1979 and 2015. The policy restricted the number of children families were allowed to have in order to curb the country's surging population growth. It was replaced with a two-child limit 5 years ago. Under one-child policy, family spoils the kid with love and care. The overindulgence and the parents' fear of losing their only child has stunted the natural adventurous character of boys. Discussion about this effect of the one-child policy has been rife in China for years. Commentators have long lamented social phenomena such as so-called Little Emperor Syndrome or Prince Syndrome. The life of pampering and constant praise led many Chinese children to develop poor social skills and become egocentric and over-reliant on their parents. Some sections of the Chinese media have also suggested that the popularity of effeminate Korean and Japanese actors and pop stars is a factor in the diminishing masculinity of Chinese youth. China's education system may also have played a role in bringing about the current state of affairs, with some commentators blaming an acute shortage of male teachers in the country, depriving young boys of male role models. 4 out of 5 teaching positions in urban areas of China are held by women. According to Tian Zheng, a professor of anthropology at the State University of New York at Cortland, the issue of masculinity and the upbringing of boys is being treated as a priority at state-level educational policy. In a study published in 2016, Professor Zheng observed that Chinese experts have called for stronger gender difference education, arguing that the crisis of masculinity in effeminate men is considered a peril to the security of the nation because it reflects powerlessness, inferiority, feminized passivity, and social deterioration reminiscent of the colonial past when China was defeated by the colonizing West. Chinese media has portrayed the lack of manhood not only as a public menace and a threat to the family, but also as a metaphor for passive masculinity and a national crisis, she wrote. Distinctive gender roles and a strong manhood were considered crucial in safeguarding the security of the nation, she noted. But of course, not everyone believes there is a problem. In order to calm the debate, state media published reports last week saying certain temperaments and characteristics should not be associated with either sex. The Xinhua news agency, quoting experts, building masculinity should not be about emphasizing gender differences, but about developing healthy physics and inner strength. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.